Mm. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. Been chaotic today. Very chaotic.
It's always hard when work stuff is kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it started like last week, and then today's just they just keep pulling us into meetings for no reason and telling us just like all the changes happening. So it's
Yeah.
never fun.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, I'm here if you want to talk about how you can spitball and get into different stuff related to digital marketing.
Hmm.
I don't, I'm probably not the best to talk to about like sales related jobs and stuff like that, but um, yeah, if you're interested in getting into something that's a little bit more, intensive on the knowing how to manipulate the digital landscape, let me know.
Definitely. Yeah, I just wish all this didn't happen over the weekend because I was really wanting to do this, and I just didn't manage time well with everything.
No, it's fine. It happens. It's just part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Um, I'm now in a spot. BHT is struggling right now, so I'm just trying to land four Patriots, and I have a meeting with them at the end of the month or at the end of the week to see if what we're gonna do. And then
Yeah.
I've got like four other deals in the pipeline. I let go of that one client, probably should have kept him, but also I didn't, I don't want to uh
Stress.
force people to pay me for stuff they don't need.
Yeah.
So it's been hard. It's been a rough time for all of us. So I get it. Um and maybe I'll be in a position where I can bring on a couple clients and I can afford to have you come on. But until then, it would be great to be able to pay you bounties based on the
Yeah.
knowledge that you do have currently. Um, it's just going to take some time. So I guess you didn't have a chance to kind of look at CSS or CCS.
I did like a brief audit and then I mean we also did that audit together, just like really looking through the site. It wasn't really much. And then I
Mm.
didn't get to work on any of the implementation, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries. I'll go ahead and get it implemented right now. I just want to, I think how I'm going to do is I'll just ping the Slack each time that we have a new person added to the data app,
Okay.
and then we'll, the ones that you guys can get to, great. The ones that you can't, great. It's, either way for me. Um, but really, I'm trying to get you to a spot to where you can comfortably implement basic GA4 GTM.
Yeah.
If it's a purchase event related type of setup, or if it's a form submit event type of setup, we should be able to knock those out between those two tools. Um, with CS or CCS, I keep on saying CSS. CCS, I am also doing a Google Ads imported conversion. I have Kelly, you guys haven't met her, but she does all of our Google business profile stuff for
Hmm.
for BHT, and she actually runs ads. She runs Google ads, so I'm going to pay her to run ads for this company. I just need to get budget approved from them, but then I think she's pretty cheap. She's like 200 bucks a month or something. And I'm going to use her for that because it's a easy thing that she already knows how to do and she wants to do, and it gets it off our plate, and we get a chance to help people um, that need that type of help.
Yeah.
I have buddies who run uh, ads for companies that do like 10, 15, 20,000 a month and ad spend and up. And that's a whole different ball game. But most of the people that I'm running into right now, they just need someone who can help them get started with ads. So I'll use Kelly for that. Um, okay, let's just jump into it. So the main thing is to go to the main site, go here, right now, the Google Analytics 4 ID that I'm using, I noticed that it is connected to the, this is the real one. And the way you figure that out is you go to the setup assistant, and there's not going to be anything related to universal analytics here. However, if you go to the property that is here, this one you can tell is connected to UA. So that's what that means. Connected to UA means that they just imported it over and it's running now, right? They've linked the ads, they've done all these things, right? So I can set up with this in mind. However, it's very easy for me to switch it over to the other one. And I can run Google Ads with this in mind, but it should be easy for me to switch it over to the other one as well, right? So check this out. Since I'm having a call with these people, and this is the property that's currently active, this is the actual property that we're going to talk about. I'm not going to talk to them other than telling them that that's a Universal Analytics auto migrated property. I'm not going to show them this property because guess what? No data has been received yet. If I go into a call and I show them this, they're going to say, yo, what the hell? What are we paying you for? Right. And so that's my fault. I waited, 3 weeks to start on this after they had already paid us. But it's an easy site, and I knew that. So, okay. Now that that's out of the way, this is what we got. We go here and we preview. Okay. So during preview mode, I have a chance to do a form submit here. And this form submit is actually a newsletter subscribe. So if you remove the email and you read it, it just says email. I think this is actual email subscribe. One second. We got this one, which is a general inquiry. And then I've got the email list. So we're going to treat these differently. So what I can do is just run it and then look at Tag Manager preview mode. I hope you like this weird angle with the white thing on my face.
Yeah, I was wondering what is it trying to like capture your face?
Yeah, so I'm alone today, so I'm not able to uh switch off. Watch, I'll switch it off. If I switch it off, it might be out of focus. That's the problem. But I was live streaming earlier with that as well. So if I go here, oh, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but I understand what you're saying now.
It's a little blurry, yeah. Okay, so I did that. I just submitted that form, and all it did was give me this thank you, your subscription has been received. You can use the duck tool, so control command C, control option, I'm sorry, command option C opens up developer tools, and then you go to debugger. You got to open this so that you can start. You can close it back. Then I can go into this and take a look. Dang, I messed it up. So what I'm looking for here is an event that fires. We got a page view. We got some other stuff going on. I don't see a state changing. So maybe, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Success manager. Here we go. Success message with form done. See that? So if I copy this, I can use it to trigger a form submit, which is what I'm about to do here. The good thing about all this, man, is you just need to know how to find the answers. And most of the time, it's stuff like this. Let me see if I can resend this confirmation code. Hold on. I'm gonna show you how I found how you can always find answers. Because if you go here, okay, this. Oops, that's not what I want. Here it is. Okay. So I'm looking for form submit. I can go here and I can just go Control F, form tracking. And it's going to give you a lot of different ways to track forms. This is really important because you can get a little bit smarter about the different ways you do things. 90% of what we're doing, it's going to be pretty basic, the answer to the equation. However, you're going to have to be kind of slick about how many different ways you can do it. It's like jujitsu. The more ways you have to submit somebody, the better. So you just have to be
Good
really good
analogy.
about that. Thanks. Yep. So CSS selector. Oops. They're gonna make me do it again. No worries. So it should be this guy. I don't know if this is considered CSS or not. So you'll notice on this tag,
Mm-hmm.
we can either do ID or CSS selector. Do it this way. This isn't element ID though.
Mm. Oh, Sean just joined.
So 90% of the this is the error message if the form fails, by the way. Email form is here, right? Form
Mm-hmm.
ID email form. So we can just use that actually. So ID is email dash form. Notice how it's written. You got to do the exact same way. What's up, Sean? And then we can go, yo,
Going on. Sorry about being late.
no worries. And then from here, what I can do is built-in variable. I can try to see if there's a, again, I got CSS, I got IDs. I don't like this view of it. Or if it's a DOM element.
Mm.
So it can be ID or CSS selector. So my job here is to figure out what this is considered. I got thank you text. I've also got this guy right here. And that's a class. This is a element class is what this would be. Success message with form done. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I can copy the element, JS path styles, some other stuff. this is worth digging into and understanding how to do this. I don't know how to do it, but I'm about to figure it out. So the cool thing is I can trigger this based on class. So let's do that. So right
Sean,
now I have an
you in on,
element visit.
sorry, I was trying to fill you in on what we're doing. We're trying to track the email submission for the email list for CSS, or I said it too, CCS.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep saying CSS. Sorry, I cut you off, Jordan.
Very cool. Don't worry. We are good to go. I'm looking for element visibility. I can probably get away with form ID or form text. Let's check it again. This is class. Do I have class? Can I find class here?
Form
This is a
class.
click class. I need form class. Here we go. Okay. Email form success is equal to, what does this say? A label. And it's got some other shit going on here. This is the message that is received. Put this in chat so I don't lose it. Okay. About to test this. This is just a form trigger, by the way. So it might work, might not. If it doesn't work, then we're going to have to come up with a more nifty solution. Yay.
Hope it works.
Me too.
Good.
Okay. So there's that. If we save here, I should be able to see GA4 form submit, newsletter form, by the way. We'll clean this up a little bit later, but I just want to run it. So if I preview again, I always preview after I've had a situation like that. Kill this, jump over, my name, subscribe. Remember that it was this one, not the contact page. Contact page might be different. And we might see form submit. Yay. Okay. So form submit is being counted. It's just not inside of a tag. So that's fine. Element classes, we can pick it from here. We can pick the email form. These are all really, really good things. Now, if I was smart, which I'm fairly smart, I would just use what I have. And that looks like this. It's going to trigger off of this custom event, GTM form submit, which is what we just saw. Why? Why would I want to do that? Because it's a given and right now it's not being sent over to GA4. Just to differentiate it for us. Looks like that. Okay, cool. Not the prettiest. We'll clean it up. Watch. So the reason I do that is because now I can change out the parameters, and based on the parameters, I'll know which one I want to fire inside of GA4. So if I can push everything to GA4, cool. But then if I could specify everything inside of GA4, even better, right? Because since they've got GTM form submit already firing, I can just use that as a trigger. And then I'm guessing when I go to the contact page and I submit a form, it's going to be a GTM form submit as well. There's no reason why I wouldn't. But then I would differentiate the newsletter sign up versus the contact form submit based on parameter values. Or I could use like page paths, stuff like that, which is a parameter value, but you can also get more granular. 90% of this, and the reason it is difficult sometimes is because um, it's just problem solving, constantly problem solving. It doesn't really matter where you start if you're wrong. It just matters if you figure it out or not. You know,
Mm-hmm.
being wrong is like whatever. Okay, cool. So succeeded. We're not sending e-commerce data, which we shouldn't be. And then we got some values in here. Let's see what we see into the, obviously data layer's got a ton of stuff going on here. And I can manipulate that inside of the event that goes over to GA4, by the way. So I could drop all these different parameter values and rename them. So if I wanted to ID the email, right, I could use this element ID, you see,
Mm-hmm.
but I could also name it something different. So it could look like this. I just want to, this is a good learning point. It could look like this. So it's going to be here like that because that's what we have available. It's going to be a data layer variable. Highly, highly recommend that you guys check out the data layer variable lessons in analytics manual. There's some aha moments to be had there. So this goes here. Oops. However, instead of naming this exactly like this, it's called camel case, where they have the lowercase and then the big uppercase, no space, and then lowercase again. It's called camel case. I could go, since we all know that stuff is more accessible in GA4 if it's snake case, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could call it something completely different, form ID, because technically it is a form ID. We're identifying the form with this. We'll make sure it doesn't, yeah. We know what the element is. The element is a form. So this is really form ID. Also, I think there's a form ID right here. So I could imagine this, right? Watch. If I go form ID like this, I think I can manipulate the standard variable moving forward. But let me make sure before I make those bold claims. So this looks like that. Okay. So now we know where it came from. Okay, cool. So let's go a little bit further. We got that one figured out. That's easy. Newsletter. Now, if I go here, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the data layer, I need to have 1 of 5 to be pushed in as a variable. But here we can just do all my stuff here. I'll just put in my real number, see if they text me or something. That'd be interesting. I want to see what kind of stuff they do, if any. Thank you. Your submission has been received. So again, same situation. Technically, I could just go Control C, take a look at the element here. It's w-form-done is the class. W-form-done. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you figure out what's on page. If I needed to use that trigger as a class for that element class trigger, I could. That's another way in, right? Lucky for us, we already have this set up and it fired again. So this happened again. However, the cool thing is there should be different variables that went off because of this. And this is showing me email form again. This is email form. Notice that the class says form on this one, On this one, it says subscribe form flex. So what does that mean? If element class is equals for subscribe form flex, that means that I need to in GA4 flip this so that this is the newsletter and that this one is just the contact form. The job here is to now get that information into the tag so that when I get it to GA4, I can manipulate it, right? Because right now in GA4, all I'm going to see is form submit, and I don't even have any parameters set yet. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell me if it doesn't, for real. Like, I'm not going to get mad or anything. I just need y'all to feel like you understand the play and also the execution.
The one
the
question I
play-
have it, so that initial form submission that started popping up on the summary side, was that from the trigger that you you set up, or was that already auto coming in initially?
Oh, it was already coming in.
Okay, and then you went and specified further.
Yes,
Okay.
but it was coming from GTM as a standard event.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's what I
sometimes
thought.
you get
I just want to clarify
yes,
that.
sometimes you get lucky and stuff like that happens. And instead of trying to understand where it came from as far as like what part of the puzzle provoked it, it's more like, okay, it's here right now. I have minimum code on this site, so I know there's not a whole lot that I did, right? Or that the client did. Let me use what they have and try to manipulate from there
Okay.
versus building everything from scratch and knowing every single thing. So that does two things. It makes sure that you don't unwind things that they've already put together, right? I don't
Mhm.
want to break anything that they got going on, but also form classes. So we're going to go form classes, and this is a data layer variable, built-in data layer variable. So it's not even anything. That's dope. I love that. So form classes. Then I can go form ID here. These are both built in. And for now, I'm going to name it this way. I might change it later. As far as the left side of the equation, the value needs to stay the same. The value is based on what's being pushed into the data layer right now, as far as variables and stuff go, right? So if I do this, oops, sorry. If I do this, and then I go, I know I look like a crackhead. Should say. So there were 3 form submits that happened. This is all the information that we have available. Notice that none of it is form class or form ID because it's not pushed in yet. I'm about to push it in right now though. So if I push it here, sorry, right here. If I push it here, I'm really curious about this part, seeing if I can finesse this. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Okay, submit, and then I'm here, and then we go here. La 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 la. Okay. Notice that these are blue because they're not being counted as conversions yet. Form ID. Yay. Form class. Yay. This is the form. This is the contact form. So now if I go form classes, repeat this. So I'll go event, modify event. It's not there yet. So I do have a 1 o'clock that I gotta jump on, but let's go. And that looks like this. Let me go form class. Right now it says, what did it say? Just said form. I don't remember.
Yeah,
You know,
forms.
I think it was form. Yep. I just want to make sure this is how you could quickly make sure, click that duplicate button, go over here, form ID is email, and then form classes is just form. So if it says form, then that is the contact form. So we can do it like this, form submit contact, right? So this is the $1,000,000 question. Do I want to just create an event or do I want to modify an event based on the contact, the type of form that's created, right? I could create an event that's just called form submit contact, or I could create an event called form submit newsletter, right? Or I could have a catch-all, all three, that's called form submit. So no matter which one it is, there was a form that was submitted. The best way to do this, because a modified event will erase all form submits now. Because I'm using form submit and I'm manipulating it at this level. But y'all knew that. You knew that, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. It erases
I didn't
everything
know it
else.
erased, but
Yeah. So keep that in mind. For someone that like them, I probably want to keep all three. So that means I'm in the wrong place right now.
So you would do form submit to catch all, and then you would do different variables below to catch the differences.
Say that again?
So you would do a form submit, like a general form submit to catch all three of the events for submission, right? And then you would
Mhm.
would you do another parameter to catch the additional differences?
Yeah. I would do like this form class,
Yeah.
I believe is what I said.
Yeah, you did form class and it was form.
Classes. So like this. It's got to match though. See, classes, plural. And now I have a chance to create a custom event name called form submit contact. And this is created. If you notice, there's a button right here that says copy parameters from the event source. So that's from the form submit. That's where that's coming from, which is nice. And then newsletter is going to look like this. Form ID, email form.
so it's form ID versus form class, right?
Classes.
Classes, sorry.
Now this is submitted. So now I got 3 things coming in. They all represent different situations. Wait a minute. I'm tripping. Form ID. Yeah. Wait a minute, guys. I did that wrong. So now I'm counting the same event. So I need to count the newsletter specifically. And I need to see what that looks like. So thank you for your submission. Go here. And here, there should be form class called subscribe form flex. So I don't need to use form ID for anything. email form is always going to be the same. Does that make sense? Where I just made that mistake?
Repeat it one more time.
It's easy to make those mistakes. So form ID doesn't matter because it's the same on both forms. Email dash form is going to be the same, whether it's a newsletter form or a contact form. I almost made that mistake. Instead, subscribe form flex is what they're calling the class for a form submit that happens
on the newsletter.
For the newsletter.
Okay.
For the newsletter. Yeah. So then I can save this and we're good to go. Now we have everything we need for them right now because they don't have anything else going on in this site. I mean, obviously I could track these clicks to projects, clicks to studio, click to contact, click to Instagram, outbound click, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just did all that and nothing happened here on the main page. So maybe we need to click some links and track some things. But essentially, see, they have the contact page being clicked and they're showing that as something. Here we go. I'm not crazy. Projects. Yes. So this is being tracked. It's being tracked in GTM. It's not being used in GA4 for any kind of navigational event or anything because it's not important really, to be honest. The main thing that we want to track, and this is how we would have to tell the client, is we want to track who's clicking what and then building audiences based on where they're navigating. So I could use this information that's in the data layer right here to build an audience if I wanted to. And so that looks like this. The cool thing is there's no standards, there's no rules. That's also the thing that makes this difficult is when you just don't have any rules and we're just kind of doing whatever we want to, I could build this based on how many views are happening of this page, but I would have to pick like page path or something. So it would look something like this or something like that. Page path, query string, and then they've got the stuff that they want you to use here, which is nice, right? So I go / projects. Contains, so everything included. And then I can set that to a maximum, and then I can create audience trigger, project, viewer, right? Every single time someone comes in and does that, they become a part of this audience. And that's how you build an audience. Most clients that you're going to deal with, they care about stuff like that. They want to see that we know how to help them do that. Where this is useful is when it's time for them to go run ads. They will have somebody to retarget. But first things first, the most important part was tracking form submit. And we found an angle. If you were to do it, then you would have probably come up with a different way to capture that, right? Maybe. It just depends. And there's no right way. The only goal is to be right and get it done, you know?
Yep.
So that's all I got. That's all I got time with for. Unfortunately, I do have to jump on this 1 o'clock, but yeah, I hope that was helpful. I'm trying to make sure that this limited time that we spend together is used appropriately.
Yeah, it was very helpful. Just honestly, I'm upset with myself for not being able to get to it in time, but I'm glad we were able to get it going.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. There'll be plenty of them to come. I owe you an apology for fumbling the Portrait Masters thing, right? We almost had that one fumbled. There's always going to be stuff that we could have got to, could have did, and could have completed. But the good thing is there's so much of this type of work out there. I do believe that once we get it dialed in, we'll have a decent pipeline. So it's just takes time.
Yeah, I'll spend some time still looking over this afternoon once I get off of work. I still want to look over, and I don't know, maybe I can try to solve it a different way just because to get practice. What are you saying, Will? Because of the angle?
No, it switched. It showed me without glasses and then it showed me with glasses on my side.
Weird.
That was crazy. It took like a freeze frame from yesterday, and I had on a same color shirt yesterday.
I like the content lately. Those clean, nice lighting ones. I like that series. I feel like it's just good content.
What else for this implementation can we get done for them to make sure that they're happy campers?
I'm going to find out at 3. So I have a call with them at 3. You guys are welcome to join. I use y'all's schedule that you gave me to book it. So if you want to just be there, great. But I'll just talk through what we have set up for them so far and ask if they have any questions.
Okay,
It's just going to be pretty basic.
sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I should be good for that too.
I unfortunately can't join at 3. I've got another call.
That's fine. Just shoot me a message. I'll be around. I do got to go though, guys.
Sounds good.
All right. Later.